Yeah.
Hey, look, all this stuff. Ronnie Baker, Teddy Pendergrass, all that. Turn out the lights and light a candle. Just all that stuff like that, man. You know, cats today are getting all that stuff from all them old school cats. You don't even realize it. They don't know who those cats' names were. Find these cats. You can find them on Wikipedia. You can find them on YouTube. On all these, you guys got the young cats got a great resource now that we didn't have coming up, because all we had coming up was the record player. I'm stylist cum laude. I'm from Record Needle University. That 8-track tapes and cassette tapes.
Yeah, I feel
we did it back in the day, man. If you wanted to learn a Stanley Clarke lick, you had to go to that record. You had to have 2 copies of the record. One that you could scratch up and learn on, and the other one that you could listen to.
Yeah.
Verdine White. I mean, what else can you say? Verdine the Man, another fingerstyle giant from Chicago. I mean, 2 of my favorite Earth, Wind and Fire records is Head to the Sky.
Oh yeah.
Like, Build Your Nest is the one right there.
Oh yeah.
That's a funky tune. He did that on the old Telecaster bass he did back in the day. And All in All, that's another great record with Serpentine Fire and Jupiter and Running. All them tunes on there. He's playing J-bass on that one. Jamerson, obviously.
Right.
If you go to the original source, I mean, it's still hard today to play a Jamerson bass line. And if you can read a Jamerson chart, you can read anything.
Now, but most of the cats that you name weren't necessarily readers, though.
Jamerson was a reader, yes.
See, I didn't know that.
Well, Jamerson had upright training. He came up through high school and he had upright training. He was an upright player.
I didn't know that. See, learn something new every day.
His upright knowledge to the electric bass.
Okay.
And Jamerson was a true genius because he was taking all these rhythms that had never been played before in R&B and pop music. He was coming from the jazz world where he played bebop and he played, all these Afro-Latino rhythms and was transferring them to R&B music. And him being a country boy from Carolina, he had that gospel thing with him too. So his whole thing was a combination of jazz, gospel, like I said, the Afro-Latino grooves, and everything else that he was doing, Ain't too proud to beg, sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't too proud to plead, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl, no. Nobody was doing that back then. Everybody was going. Everybody after Jamerson was starting to play all that syncopated stuff, man. But he brought the syncopation and the funk into it. Then all the other cats started following, like all the James Brown cats, Bernard Odom, and all them other cats. Let's see, Bootsy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Bootsy.
But let me ask you this though before you go on. Now, would you recommend reading? Knowing how to read, at least charts?
If you want to be, I think every musician should learn how to read. The main advantage to reading is that you can communicate with other musicians better. It's not going to make you groove better. It's not going to make you more talented, but it's going to give you more opportunities to be able to communicate with other guys. Guys can relate to you what it is that they're looking for. If they give you a chart of their music, and you can sit and look at it, where all the stops are, all the breaks, where the groove is, when the key is going to change, if a part repeats, all of that. It's all written there for you. And all you have to do is you have to sit there and read it down, but you have to play it and sound like you're not reading. That's the trick. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to interpret this stuff in real time in the given situation that you're around in. But every musician should learn how to read, man. It's part of our language. It's like, should you learn to read English? I mean, you can learn how to talk, but shouldn't you learn how to read a book?
Right.
Same thing with musicians. It opens doors for you. It allows you to be able to play any kind of music, because it's all relative on paper.
So would you say that not so much reading would supersede creativity, But
it will never do that.
Right, but if you had to make a choice, say you had to make one choice or the other, would you take reading or would you take creativity?
Creativity is first and foremost.
Right.
I mean, because if you're talented enough to be creative in the moment, that's the art that's in the music. You know, but if you want to stay working, if you want to be able to get studio work, if you want to become a sideman for an A-list person, if you want to play bass in a couple of different churches, and so you're not constantly having to learn stuff and remember stuff and internalize it. If you read it, it's just right there in front of you, and then you can just throw it away from your mind. You don't have to constantly remember all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And it takes away that margin of error. It's like, oh man, okay, I didn't go over that section too well. I'm going to scuff that up a little bit. You don't have to worry about that if you learn to read. You can just read it down, and it's all right there for you. And in sessions, if you can read it down and play it perfectly on the first take, you're saving people money. They're going to call you the next time.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. But yeah, absolutely, you should learn how to read. It'll never replace groove and creativity and having that ism of being a soulful player. Because a lot of cats are afraid to learn how to read because they feel like, oh, it's gonna make me less soulful. It's gonna put reins on me. It doesn't have to. I mean, a lot of times cats will write something, and if you're a good enough reader, you can learn how to. If you're reading a chord chart instead of reading just fully notated music, you can play whatever you want to anyway. Because then all you have to do is just, follow the groove with the drummer. Find your spot in the rhythm section and outline the chords. Like say if you're reading something, it's got 4 chords on it. It's got A minor, D minor, G minor, and C minor. Mm-hmm. What did I just say? A minor,
yeah.
D minor, G minor, C. I mean, drummer will kick off with you. Boom, 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 boom. You can play. You can play it like that if you just got the chord changes, or you can. You can play as busy or as creative as you want to, or you can outline. You can outline the chords as much as you want. You can change up the groove, the rhythm. You can play it busy. You can lay back. You can hold the notes. So that the creativity can come there with reading. Okay. If you can play a part that's better than what's written, and if you have that type of reputation, then you'll be given that nod to be more creative. But at least you got that in front of you as a reference that you can build upon. Now, in
the conforms of the Aaron Neville Band, are you given that spot to be creative?
Oh, absolutely. Aaron encourages it. I mean, there's some things where. If you're playing one of his hits, like if you're playing "Tell It Like It Is" or something like that, you got your liberties where you can do some stuff. But there reaches a point where it's already perfect. I don't need to mess with it too much, because if I mess with it too much, it's no longer going to be the song.
Right.
And again, if you're a bass player, unless your name is on the marquee, it ain't about you. You know what I mean? You're there to support whoever's fronting the band. Whether it's a singer or a horn player or whatever. So it ain't about you. So just lay down the bottom